All right. I think we're live. All right. Okay. Hi, everyone. All right. All right. Hey, Brent. Yeah, I love you so much. You're like my biggest supporter. That's my man, y'all. All righty. So, for today, I remember to look up here. For today, we have our for our Reddit docket, we have broke friends that are complaining about jobs being beneath them, unemployed friends. We have other friends that are intentionally separating boyfriend and girlfriend in their birthday party. We'll go over it. We have autism momming and burnout, which we'll speak on that because I know that for firsthand. And then we have a groom flirting with a bridesmaid. So so with all of these situations, I like to kind of make light of it, but I know real people go through these real situations, and a lot of these situations are real. And so even if it's not the person on Reddit that we're talking about, it is real in someone's life. Someone has gone through this. And so um, I like to, just speak to those people and, just kind of help out where I can. And I like to do words of encouragement as well. So we start off with our, oracle reading, oracle message, because we need we need more affirmations in our life, or we need more guidance in our life. So, usually before we do our Reddit, we go through um, our oracle, you know, stuff. And then after every story, we'll do a little tarot pull just to kind of see what the cards say about it. Sometimes I need to, sometimes I don't. I don't even really need to, but it's just kind of for fun. Everything's for entertainment purposes. So, and then if you have any questions, or if you want to ask any questions in the chat, and if you want me to read your cards for you, I will. So let's get started. All right. So today, the deck that I'm using is the African Goddess Rising deck. I love this deck. It is one of my first ones that I've ever gotten. It's so beautiful. It has all of the goddesses and all of their attributes, and just little words of advice and things that go along with it. So it's kind of one of my favorites. So let's see. Let's see what's happening. Okay. If you may know, I guess I can. I'm a little bit more woo woo than most, but I'm a little bit more of a casual reader, kind of, but not really. Ma'at, giving and receiving. So for this message, you want to make sure that when you are in, and it kind of goes along with what we're going to talk about, when you are in a relationship, and I'm not just talking about romantic, I'm also talking about friendships. I'm also talking about family. I am talking to a certain extent children, but that can be a little bit more take. You want to make sure there is an equal exchange, because if you are giving too much of yourself to a person, not only does it affect you mentally, it can affect you physically. And I know there are lots of people that see this, that's had this happen to them, where they are in a jacked up relationship where the other person is just taking their energy, and they start to see it in their face. They start to see it in their face. They start to see it in their hair. They start to see it in their appearance. You can see the life draining. You can see them aging, and I'm not even knocking it because, like, I know about it. I know about it. But that's where you want to make sure there is an equal exchange. And what that equal exchange means to you could be different from what it means to other people. For some, that equal exchange is merely words of affirmation. Tell me you appreciate me. Tell me you love me. For others, it's money. A lot of times it's money. And not money as far as just, for the material portion or the materialistic nature of money, but it's understanding that you are investing in me. You're investing your time, your hard-earned money that you spent on me. That's where the gifts become a love language, or even other things. Security. You're putting your hard-earned money to make sure I am secure. Whatever that means to you, whatever that exchange means to you, make sure you're not giving so selflessly to where you're losing yourself. Okay? All right. I love my eye. Okay, so let's get into it. Let's get right into it. All right. So here's our first one. Am I the jerk for cutting off my broke best friend after he said my job was beneath him? First off, being broke and saying your job is beneath you is kind of crazy work. It's crazy work. Let's talk about it. All right. This literally just happened and I'm still heated. So sorry if this is all over the place. It's okay. It's all right. We're listening. My best friend hasn't worked in over a year. The best friend that is telling his friend, the best friend is saying that this guy's job is beneath him and he hasn't worked in over a year. Just there. Just right there. Beggars can't be choosers, right? He's got a computer science degree, but has never actually worked in that field since graduating. Every job that comes his way, he turns down because it doesn't pay enough or they won't give him a senior position right away or whatever. His ego is in the way. His ego is in the way, because how are you going to have a senior position where you haven't even had a position? How are you going to be senior in something you haven't started? You have to have experience to be senior, but and school doesn't teach you everything, guys. School does not teach you everything. You have to be in the workforce for a little bit. But I get it. You want to make your money, but no. Meanwhile, he's been doing some online trading Forex thing, claiming he makes like $20 a day, which obviously isn't true because he's completely broke now. I mean, it could be true. $20 a day is very minuscule. So it could be true that he's making $20 a day, but if you're stuck at $20 a day, you probably aren't that great at trading Forex. I want to start doing that, actually. I know it's pretty interesting. Ooh. So, scroll. He's been stressed, complaining about money nonstop, asking his parents for help, and they've been supporting him for months. Oh, good parents. How old is he? Is there an age? There's no age. Okay. I'm just curious. I work as a server at a really nice restaurant, and I've offered him a job there so many times I lost count. Servers can make good money depending on the restaurant. If it's a nice restaurant, they can make bank. Especially in a good area. Whew. My boss even said he'd hire him tomorrow, no questions asked, as a favor to me. Oh, he got some pull there. That's awesome. Full-time, good tips, decent money. Absolutely. My friend keeps saying no without really explaining why. Okay. And some work's not for everybody, Some work's not for everybody. Today, he calls me saying his parents finally cut him off and asked if he can borrow money. Now, that's where we pause. You are not going to asked me to borrow money after turning me down, offering to give you a full-time job. And this is where a lot of people just want handouts and think they can take advantage of you, because here I am leading you to water. I'm leading you to the watering hole here. But you literally want me to lead you to the water hole, take a cup, pour it out, give it to you, pour it in your mouth, and teach you how to drink. No, absolutely not. 100% of no. I digress. I told him I don't lend money to anyone. That's just my rule. Good rule. But I reminded him the job offer still stands and he can literally start tomorrow. You're helping him. You're being a good friend. You're being a very good friend. You're helping him, but some people don't want that type of help. Some people just, whatever. He says no again, and I finally snap a little and ask him why he keeps turning this down when he's literally broke and desperate. Then he finally tells me the truth. It's this truth. He says being a server is a low job. That it doesn't get you people's respect, that nobody can respect someone who's still waiting tables in their 30s. But you're unemployed. But you're unemployed asking me for money with my waiting table self. I don't respect you begging me for money right now. How about that? What? Much better than you're unemployed with no, and I'm not knocking unemployed, people in a way, because I know times are hard. But in this context, he is unemployed, asking the friend for money. The friend is offering him a job, and then he proceeds to disrespect the friend, basically saying that no one gets respect being a lowly little server. Whereas here, he is begging friend for money. Anywho. Oh, people are so funny. I just sat there for a second because I couldn't believe what I was hearing. This man who hasn't worked in over a year, who's been living off of his parents, who's asking me for money, is telling me my job is beneath him. Yes, he is. 100% is. The entitlement is crazy. And see, it's almost feel like his parents are probably enabling him a little bit. He's in his 30s from, what we just talked about. And he's been living off of his parents. They're enabling this behavior. And so it makes him feel entitled for people to help him, as opposed to him being the little lowly server. He probably does need a little bit of humility, because for him to feel like being a server is lower than being unemployed when you are begging for money from someone who is offering to help you get a job is crazy work to me. Oof. Anywho. All right, let's keep going. I asked if he thought I was low, and he tried to backpedal, saying he didn't mean me specifically, just the job itself. He meant you. He meant you, because there's no separation there. There's no separation there. He literally just said being a server is low. You are a server. He called you low. Then he doubled down and said things like server and cleaner and street sweeper are just objectively low jobs, and that's a fact. Okay. Go sit in your cardboard box. How about that? Don't come ask me for money. When you are hungry, don't ask me for food. When your clothes get holes and raggedy, don't come asking me for money for new clothes. Because if they're low, if they're that low, I told him he was being offensive and needed to think about what he just said to me. He said there's nothing to think about and he stands by it. Let him stand by it. Am I the jerk? No. That doesn't. Did he say he cut him off? Good. He cut him off. I'm about to say that shouldn't even be a friend anymore, because that's crazy to me. And that's the thing about let's go back to this give and take. Where did we go? I don't even know where I put it. Let's go back to the giving and receiving here. What I love about this guy is that he didn't let that friend cross the boundary of taking money. He's saying, I will help you help yourself, but I'm not going to give you handouts. And that is completely respectable. That is 100% respectable. And I commend him for that. But what happens is people will make you feel guilty and act like you're not there to help them, even though you are. And then want to make you feel guilty for not enabling their behavior. Absolutely not. 100% of no. So, no, you are not the jerk. Let's see. Let's just pull a card to see what it says. Let's just pull a card for fun. And like I said, in between these, these Reddit reads, we have a little bit of time, to take one or two questions, one or two pulls before we move on to the next one. Because I want to be here for you guys too and answer y'all questions. So we'll just pull just a general one. Whether it relates or whether it's not, I don't know. Let's see what it says. Boop. Page of Wands. Page of Wands. So what Page of Wands is basically the suit of like work, hobbies, creativity. But in this case, we'll actually connect it to work here. Page of Wands is someone that is starting a new journey when it comes to their work, their hobby, their job. And in this case, it's probably telling them, get your butt up and go to work. Get your butt up and go to work. You're just sitting here complaining to your friend, the friend that's actually working and doing what he needs to do with his life. You probably should do the same thing, or at least create your job. If you have a hard time, here's the thing. Now let's kind of help him out a little bit. If he's having a hard time with finding a job that suits him, if he wants a job that's more fulfilling and where he gets more recognition and he's not getting it, he either one needs to take something lower or two, create one, make a job. Do something where you get recognition. It'll take work, which doesn't seem like he wants to do, considering he was unemployed for a year. But I probably should start thinking about creating a job and getting more experience. You need to start a little lower, sir. You're trying to start way too high when you're just a little page. Not saying page is little, but a page is like, when it comes to the court cards, page is kind of on the bottom, like the most, it could represent children. So it's on a little bit lower, younger, represent younger energy. And so for this person in particular, he's getting a little bit ahead of himself where he is kind of more on the immature side. Okay? Yes. Goodness. Anywho. Next. Make sure my mic's still on. Okay. Everything's still on. Oh, and let me put my name up here so y'all can see me. Hi. All right. Oh, hi. All right. What do we have next? All right. So our next one is about a woman arguing with her friend at the friend's birthday party because the friend intentionally separated the woman and her boyfriend at the party. So let's get into it. Friends, I feel like people use the word friend way too loosely sometimes because some of these people are not actually, a lot of these people are not friends. Some of these people just attach to you for your energy to help them feel better about themselves and their little lowly lives. Anyway, there's my screen. Okay. Oh. Now, Am I the a-hole for arguing with my friend at her birthday party after she intentionally separated me from my boyfriend? Sorry, okay. I, 21-year-old female. Oh, they're young, 21. Okay. I, 21-year-old female, have been dating my boyfriend, 22-year-old male, for almost 2 years. Oh, cute. We're very solid, live together, and usually attend events as a couple. Okay. Good, good, good. I've never had any serious issues with my friend, also a 21-year-old female, who I've known since high school. Okay, so they've known each other since high school. It's kind of sad because sometimes you tend to outgrow those high school friendships. And it's sad when that happens. My friend threw herself a big 21st birthday party at a rented venue. She invited around 30 people, and I RSVP'd yes for both me and my boyfriend weeks in advance. When we arrived, there were assigned tables. I was seated at a table with my friend and her close friends, while my boyfriend was placed at a completely different table across the room with people he doesn't know. Yet, so she separated them. So the Redditor here, she was sat at one table where her boyfriend was sat at a whole another table separated, and he's with people he doesn't even know. At first, I assumed it was a mistake. Okay. I pulled my friend aside and asked about it, and she told me it was intentional. Why? Why would you do that? That doesn't even make sense. Intentional, what's the reason? Anyway, we'll see, I guess. She said she didn't want couples attached at the hip. Is the friend single? It is giving jealousy. And wanted people to branch out. That sounded fine until I looked around and realized that literally every other couple, including people who had been dating for only a few months, was seated together. Jealousy. It's giving jealousy. She's jealous of the friend. That's what I'm saying. People use the word friend way too loosely. The fact that these emotions like jealousy can get in the way of a relationship that could be so beautiful. Friendships are beautiful. But when things like jealousy can get in the way, it is just really sad. I don't know how good of friends they were, if they were just associates truly and not really friends, but it could get really sad. Okay. When I pointed this out, she admitted she thought my boyfriend would kill the vibe and said I'd be more fun without him around. Oh. What, do you miss me? Do you miss me being around? Just you without my boyfriend? You just want a little alone time for your birthday, friend on friend? Just say that. So here's the thing. I feel like so many issues can be solved by just being vulnerable with people you call a friend. Okay? So what it looks like here is that the friend said, "Oh, you would be more fun without the boyfriend." Okay? In my brain, what she's probably saying is, "I miss the fun part of you. You know, you were a little bit looser when when it's just me and you. So can we just have me and you?" Don't push him to the side. It's a time and a place. And talk to the friend. Say, "Hey, can we just hang out together for once?" Be direct. Y'all, you letting these emotions just get in the way. Just talk. It's not that hard. I hate it. Anyway, I digress. Ew, I lost my spot. Okay. For context, he is quiet but extremely polite and has never caused any problems at any event. Quiet. I mean, yeah, he's an innocent bystander here. Poor boyfriend. He's just there, not even understanding what's happening. He doesn't even know what's going on. My boyfriend was clearly uncomfortable once he realized everyone else was seated with their partners except him. Poor thing. He tried to brush it off, but I could tell he was embarrassed and confused. Can you imagine? He just sitting there like, I'm trying to be supportive. Poor baby. Okay. And they are babies too, 21. I told my friend that deliberately separating us while seating everyone else with their partners was hurtful and unnecessary, alone with her comments about him not being fun. Yeah, that was kind of disrespectful. That was a bit disrespectful. She rolled her eyes. She rolled her eyes and told me it was her birthday and I was being dramatic. Okay, ma'am, goodbye. At that point, I'm telling you, I don't care if it's your birthday. Happy birthday. Goodbye. Here's your gift. I'm out. Because at that point, now you're disrespecting me. You wanted me to come. I'm the only one that's not with my partner. Why are you singling me out? But you're saying I'm being dramatic. See, this is how, again, people just gaslight you. They turn it around. Oh, you're just being dramatic. Just to, as an excuse for their own bad behavior is crazy. Crazy work. Okay. At that point, I decided not to make a scene, so we stick around for the rest of the party. I get that. But I was kind of more quiet the rest of the night than usual, as you should be. I would have just snuck out at that point. We're leaving. I would have never been heard from again from that friend. But that's just me. It's my Aquarius moon. Speak, ghost. Since then, my friend has been blowing up my phone saying I ruined her birthday, embarrassed her, and made everything about my relationship. That is crazy. Were you intentionally? Oh my god. Where you intentionally how did I make everything about my relationship? Where you intentionally separated me and my partner? It's jealousy. Some mutual friends agree with her. Some mutual friends agree with her and say I should have stayed quiet for the sake of the party, while others think that what she did was mean and intentional. Who are these friends that are mutual saying that you should have been quiet for the sake of the party? Okay, let's say you were quiet. I would have moved back, sat with my boyfriend. Like, I'll be quiet. I would have sat my little tail right back over there. Say something to me. Or told him to come sit with me because I don't care about these assigned seats when everybody else, I'm not, obviously, this was a mistake. And obviously, your brain, obviously, you probably had a little too much of the fruit punch because this was a mistake. So I'm just going to go ahead and plop my little cute self right next to my boyfriend and enjoy the rest of this party. How about that? That's the only way that she should have been quiet. Which is probably what I would have done. Because no. Because I get not wanting to say anything there. You don't want to keep, my Libra side is like, I kind of want to keep the peace. I don't want to say anything. So I get it. But no. I don't really think I caused that much of a scene. No, you didn't. But it is her birthday, and after all, and I feel so bad if other people notice. Stop. It's always the sweet people. As a former sweet person, I'm still sweet actually. Just a little bit with a little bit of a twist. But I'm just gonna say a former sweet person. As a former sweet person, we gotta stop being so nice. We gotta stop being so nice. Because I don't care if it's your birthday. Disrespect is disrespect. Disrespect is disrespect. At the end of the day, that was extremely disrespectful. Extremely disrespectful. I genuinely didn't want to cause drama, but I also didn't want to ignore the issue and leave my boyfriend feeling uncomfortable. Am I the a-hole? No, you are not. In fact, your friend is an a-hole and she shouldn't be a friend anymore. A lot of these scenarios and situations are people not understanding their worth and that they matter and that people are actually playing in their face. His friend was playing in her face. Because I'm the only one that's separated from my boyfriend at this birthday party. I don't care if it's your birthday party. That gives you a right to disrespect. Is that your birthday gift for me? To let you step all over me? No. Why? No, you should have left that doggone party. Should have left that doggone party. Ew. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. Absolutely 100% not. 100% not. Ooh. Yeah. Actually, there's two here. The other one's kind of far. So, in my thing, the Empress energy can attract a lot of jealousy. Empress energy can attract a lot of jealousy. And the thing about this, the Redditor here, is that she does not even realize that this is jealousy. So she's mourning the loss of a friend. She's mourning the loss of a friend, but in this case, she's ignoring the fact that the friend is actually more so jealous of her, jealous of her relationship. You know, I don't know what, if there's a jealousy when it comes to appearance here as well, but the Empress is giving that a little bit. And at the end of the day, she's mourning a friend while this friend is sitting here playing games and using her birthday as a method to be a butthead. I want to say other words, but this is YouTube. To be a butthead. And so, you're not the a-hole. Please find new friends. And at 21, you probably will find new friends. Get a new circle, because them mutual friends ain't it either. Them mutual friends ain't it either. Okay? All right. Let's see here. And if you are enjoying, please don't forget to hit the subscribe button and the notification bell so you can see when I go live again. And trying to definitely do this a lot more because it's pretty fun. I love it. It's very fun. Okay. And I like mixing tarot in there too, because this is just the way I personally, well, more so for fun, I like using it in order to give clarity on certain situations, and and it's a good thing too. If you are into, tarot, you can use it in certain situations too. It doesn't always have to be predictive. It can be predictive, especially based on patterns, but you can definitely use it for clarity in certain situations, without asking, is the ex coming back? Okay. All right. Now this is a little bit more, this one's a little bit harder. So this one's probably not going to be, as light, because, it's hard being a parent. I'm a parent. I have three children. And so, while I'm not a parent of teenagers, I definitely know the burnout. I know the burnout. I know the feeling of just being completely exhausted. And again, that goes to giving and receiving. Sometimes you even have to give and receive for yourself. Sometimes you give so much to everybody else that you have to give to yourself, so you are receiving something from someone. If it's not it's not necessarily going to be your children, because they don't know. They don't know. They're still in that. Children are all about self, as they should be. You teach them to be compassionate and considerate, but for the most part, children just, you have to, they're very dependent. You have to feed them, you have to teach them and show them. But if you have a partner, whether you have a partner or you don't, you have to make sure you are giving to yourself as well. And I know it's hard. But sometimes, if you have to force it, you have to force it. Okay? I'm gonna keep this card here. I hate my life. I hate being a parent. We've been there. We've been there. I'm a parent of two teenagers, 15 and 13. I am utterly burned out and exhausted. I was a stay-at-home mom, oh, mom for 14 years because finances dictated this. We had no childcare options, and then my child was diagnosed autistic. So going back to work was more hassle than it was worth, quite literally. I don't know if anybody knows about me, but my oldest is autistic. So that going back to work being a hassle is hits the nail right on the head. It hits the nail right on the head because there are things, I don't care what part of the spectrum your autistic child is on, there are things that you have to help with, deal with, that needs more energy than expected. And so having to give all of that energy to your autistic child, and considering it's just one, because you can have an autistic child and more children. I have my autistic daughter and I have two more children. It's hard. You truthfully, you would need a very, very, very flexible job, if not be self-employed, because it's really tough. And depending on where you live, you might not even have resources like that. There's certain states that have better resources for, autism. So depending on where you live, even the resources could be very scarce. And that makes it tough. I get it. I now work self-employed and as self-employed, and now the kids are old enough to not need childcare, which is good, 15 and 13. So she kind of got out of the weeds of them being small children. I'm kind of still there. Not even kind of, I'm still there. I love every minute of it though. Anyways, I fantasize daily about being able to leave. I am sick to death of being everyone's punching bag emotionally and mentally. I feel like this is more than just the kids. Because she did mention she was a stay-at-home mom. I know she's not mentioning the partner here, but I feel like there's more to it. There's a lot more to it. I am honest to God that not I'm honest to God not bothered if I live or die at this point. I am trapped. I have a positive relationship with the kids, but this doesn't stop me from feeling this way. We'll pause for a second. For 1 second. We'll go back to it. You matter. You matter. You matter even if no one else around you is there to tell you. I will be here to tell you if it ever reaches you or anybody in your situation. You matter. Because you matter to yourself. You matter to those kids. And I know with teenagers, it can be a little bit tougher to see how much they need you, but they do need you. And I know being needed is probably not what you even want to hear, but think about it for a second. Let's not even put the kids needing you, because again, that's probably not, the kids always need you, and that's probably what's making you feel burned out. You need you. You need you. There is a little girl inside there, that inner child, that's the child that has been neglected. And it happens. It happens to the best of us. You need you. Force yourself to spend at least 10 minutes of time a day doing what you need or want to do. Whether it's sitting, I don't care if it's sitting and staring at a wall. I don't care if it's putting on your makeup where you have not put on your makeup in years. If you haven't washed your hair in months, throwing your head in some water. I don't care what it is. Spend 10 minutes daily. Force it. Those dishes can wait. The floor can be swept a little bit later. Force it. Force it. All right, you will start to feel better about yourself. Because this feeling to a lot of parents is them showing up for everyone, but no one is showing up for them. But when no one shows up for you, you show up for you. Even if that makes someone call you selfish, I don't care, because this is what happens, and this is why sometimes children lose their mothers. Show up for yourself. I don't care if someone on Facebook or whatever, or a long distant cousin of auntie of so and so calls you selfish. Who cares? It doesn't matter. Show up for yourself. Show up for yourself. I know. I know. All right. Let's get back to it. All right. So this one's a little heavy. You know, I feel energy a little. It can get a little heavy. Today is the first day back at school, and I am in HE double hockey sticks at 7:25 a.m. Screaming, shouting, and whining. I'm in the bathroom in tears. I just can't bear this anymore. I have been called an old bat this morning for daring to wake my eldest up. I am worn out. I have some work later, and I could honestly just go back to bed and cry instead. Tomorrow's another day. Oops. Oh. Tomorrow's another day. It is. Tomorrow is another day. And there comes a point, like I said, I feel like there's not a full story here, because I'm trying to figure out where the partner is. But there's no mention of them. But there's no mention of her saying she's a single mom either. So I'm not going to assume necessarily, but what I do know is that unless the other half of the parent has gone home, gone up yonder, there probably needs to be a little bit more from that side. And in this particular era of where she is and mental state of where she is, probably a lot more. If, and it is hard because, like I said, with teenagers and you getting called names, but ask for help. Don't be afraid to ask for help. Don't be afraid to ask for help. And, I don't know if this is the autistic child calling her an old bat or not, but sometimes, if you got to call them, say, come up with something else to wake them up. They call you an old bat, call them a bed potato. I don't know, but then all in love, but this is hard. It is really hard, so give more to yourself. We as women And men too, because there are a lot of men that take on the brunt of the child care and child rearing as well. Any child rearing parent, the main child, the main, I don't want to say main parent because they're both important, but the parent that the children go to the most, and that's responsible for most of the domestic task and the child care, you have to take care of yourself as well, because it can get to a point where you're here, and once you get here, like I said, once you get to this point, your health starts to go, because you start to eat, you know sometimes you stress eat, sometimes you don't eat at all. Either way, it's not good for your body. And then you start to change, you start to get sick. We have to look out for ourselves if nobody else will. Give to ourselves, Ma'at says. Okay. All right. I almost don't really want to pull a card for this one. I'm hoping it's a little bit of a lighter card, but we'll see. That was a lot. That was a bit much. That was a bit much. Okay. Oops. Sorry, my little like clicking noise. I forgot I was live for a second. Oh gosh. Oh, I'm dropping them all. That was probably annoying to a lot of y'all's ears. I am so sorry. Especially the ones that be overstimulated. I apologize. I apologize. Okay. Let's see. And a lot of times I don't ask questions. I just kind of pull and just kind of see what comes, Rest and recuperate. And that's big for this one. Rest and recuperate. And you have to force it. You have to force it. And this one is to be conscious of your health. This could be, this card could also be, this is a Four of Swords. This is about rest, reflection, recuperate. You are exhausted. You're exhausted. And in this case, she is exhausted. She's exhausted. There has to be some reflection here about where she can change things. Even if sometimes it's drastic. And see, this is where I am a big, big advocate for anger. Not anger as far as you are, busting out someone's windows. I'm talking about anger fuels change. You have to get angry. You have to let yourself feel the anger for it to actually fuel change, because anger, contrary to what it seems, anger is very protective. It could be very protective if used in the right way. Sometimes you have to be the crazy person. Because if I'm this exhausted and I got called an old bat, I'd probably crash out a little bit. Depending on the child, because I know with the autistic child, it might be a little bit hard. It depends on where on the spectrum they are too. Because I know if I got called an old bat by my autistic child, she means it. She means it. Okay, so take with that what you will. But sometimes you gotta crash out a little bit. You gotta crash out a little bit. Let yourself feel that anger. Because let yourself feel the anger. Because you're gonna get, at some point, the exhaustion is going to hit. The exhaustion is gonna hit the anger, and then you're just gonna blow up. And you might need that. You might need that, because that's your subconscious. In all your subconscious, your body is just like, done. We're done. We just haven't gotten to that point yet. All right. Last one. My leg coach used to say last one, best one. R.I.P. R.I.P. Coach Chucky. All right. Now, ooh, sorry guys. Now, this one's a little shorter, but it's kind of a little more funny, I guess. As a bridesmaid, I guess it's not funny depending on the situation if this is happening to you. As a bridesmaid, the groom sent me an inappropriate message during his bachelor party. Should I say something? Say something to who? Say something to the groom or say something to your friend since you're the bridesmaid? Close friend. I'm a bridesmaid in my close friend's upcoming wedding. We met in nursing school and have been closer than ever since graduation, even though we now live 6 hours from each other. Oh, nursing school and not nursing school. Nursing school is grueling. Okay? Nursing school is very grueling. Any of those, health schools. I mean, I went to PT school, so grueling, okay? During her see, I'm getting tired. During her fiance's bachelor party, he DM'd me on social media saying he couldn't wait to see me in the wedding and that I was going to look so hot, followed by emojis. My first question, why does he feel this comfortable? Why does he feel this comfortable? I'm confused. One, why? What in the relationship between him and his wife or going to be wife bride is making him feel this comfortable to be able to say this to her close friend? The audacity. What is happening here? It made me uncomfortable and I didn't respond. I've never gotten inappropriate vibes from him before. He must have had a little bit of liquor. And I've been in a relationship the entire time I've known both of them. So she has a boyfriend. So I'm not thinking it's her that's making him feel this. What is happening here? Like, what? So hot is crazy. And it's the bachelor party, so a few too many of them, few too much fruit punch. The wedding is in 4 months, and my friend's bachelorette is in less than 2 weeks. That baby, we need to call that off. we need to take the L, take the loss, call it off, call it all off. No, because it's gonna get worse. If he feels this comfortable talking to your friend, what is he feeling when they aren't friends, or to others that aren't friends? What is he saying there to other women that aren't friends? And it's not going to get better just because you walk down the aisle. Is that behavior is going to stay the same, if not get worse. It gets worse, especially now you add life stressors, that marriage, finances, babies, and all that stuff, to where he probably now feels like he has to escape and do all of this other stuff and drink some more fruit punch. And then he start contacting your sister or your mama, talking about they look so hot in they shorts. Stop while you're behind, ma'am. Oh, but the Redditor's not the wife. She's asking if she should say something. Let's finish. I'm unsure whether I should address this or let it go since he may have been drunk. It doesn't matter if he's drunk. What? I don't even know where I've heard it. I feel like I've heard a lot of drunk mind yields sober thoughts. It doesn't matter if he's drunk or not. I wish I wish I would. Do you know how much of an issue I would have if I text someone that they're so hot just because I was. Yeah, no, we wouldn't have that. Being drunk is not an excuse. It's not an excuse. I'm sorry. I don't care. I don't care. I don't care. Being drunk is not an excuse for this type of behavior. It's a cop out. It's a cop out. I don't care what the song says. It's a cop out. Don't care if you're drunk because I'm not gonna forgive you just because you got drunk. Stop drinking. Maybe you shouldn't be drinking. How about that? Being drunk is a choice. It's a choice. Okay. Which still isn't okay. Thank you. What's the appropriate way to handle this? What would you honestly do? I don't know. That this is a excuse me. I would definitely show my friend, but there has to be some. I don't know if the friend would need a stiff drink. There has to be some lead up to it, though. There has to be some lead up there because here's the thing. Here's the thing. With when you're about to get married, especially I'm thinking about this friend that's about to get married. Sometimes showing this type of thing would make the friend get mad at you, even though you didn't do anything. But just the nature of she doesn't want to get mad at him. And so she's going to take it out on you, even though you're not the problem, he is. I'm not saying that's what's happening here, but that could very well happen. And you know what? If it does, it does. That's not your friend. If it does, it does. That's not your friend. Because this is call off the wedding territory. So, and if you think about it, something like this is making this girl's her life is basically crashing. Everything that she thought her life was going to be is about to start come crashing down because of what he did. But because you were a bystander in this, you will get the brunt of it. And unfortunately, life is not fair in that way. This will probably cause you to lose a friend because either way, you're going to be uncomfortable with your friend. If you don't say anything, you're going to be uncomfortable with your friend's relationship. And so it's going to build up every time you see them together. And you not saying anything to either him, I wouldn't even say anything to him because why? No. You not saying anything to her, and he's knowing that you hadn't said anything to her. It's not giving him a consequence to stop the behavior. And so he would continue whenever he decides he wants to have another drink. Or maybe when he doesn't, he might get that bold. I mean, I there's a comment here that say I would show her. I would probably show her, but be prepared that she might take the anger out on you either initially or in general and still get married to him. And you probably won't be a bridesmaid anymore. But I would feel more comfortable showing her because that would be a secret that if it comes out later or if he keeps doing this to make you feel uncomfortable, it's going to become a problem anyway. So sorry. Yeah. I don't know. Let's see. Let's see what the cars say because yucky. This one's yucky. This one's yucky. Ugh. Oof. Yeah. Most likely if you like the friend or if you tell your friend, the bride, all of her dreams are just gonna come crashing down and it probably won't end very well. It probably wouldn't end very well. And you know like I just said, it probably wouldn't end very well. So, like I said, just and again, like I said, when I talk, it's almost like I'm talking to the person, but I'm really talking to people who might be in this type of situation. Because if y'all not telling me what your situation is, the only way to, at least I'm hoping that it can get to you guys some way. But yeah, it probably won't end very well. So just be prepared for a little bit of anger towards you, and you're probably not be in that wedding anymore. Okay. Okay, so let's go back to here. So I think I'm gonna hop off. I'm getting a little hungry. But if you like the live, if I was able to help in any way, I do appreciate a like, a subscribe, even comment any questions, any story, or any Reddit stories you would like to cover, or even other things. I like doing reactions. Reactions is fun. My first love is tarot, but for YouTube, I like it to be a little more entertaining. So I like to do like do reactions. It's pretty. It breaks up, it breaks up some of the heaviness of tarot sometimes, you know. And I also do readings on here. So if you want, if you have questions, feel free to ask. In between, we'll do readings as well. I offer readings as well. I put my contact info in the description. I offer readings via, Buy Me a Coffee site. Sometimes I do TikTok lives as well. I probably won't do that today because I'm getting a little tired. But yes, so it was fun talking to you, and I enjoy every bit of being here with you all. Okay, so like, comment, subscribe, and yeah, until next time, I will see you then. Alrighty. Love you. Bye.